Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Panzer Corps 2, and we are Operation Typhoon, the sort of approach to Moscow. Now we have a couple of more fighter aircraft that can operate this turn, and so we're going to sort of stay. I'm guessing there's an anti-aircraft gun over at that airbase. See if we can down a few more. Wrong vehicle. There we go. That's the right vehicle. Outside of the range, so alright, well, that looks good. So we're going to end the turn and see what the Soviets can do to us. Their main operating base appears to be down here. Okay, well. Moscow's mine. Well, there's actually a mission after this. We actually, I think, try to take Moscow if we succeed in this mission. That's it. No, here it is. And we're running on a cloudy day, so we don't have good... Hey, Brett! Very good to hear. That's part of the reason, not the only reason, but part of the reason I decided to play it, because I knew you had been playing it, and were likely continuing, and so would enjoy this. Now, we have 2 units of T-34s. Now, this one is pretty bad shape. Not that my Panzers are any great shape. Okay, that looks overrun. Well, very good. Well, damn. I guess we'll take that. It's going to hurt us a little bit. Now, I had wanted to send my Ju-87s over first. Now that that is in a very bad state, let's see if we can come and overrun. Anybody to attack? No, but we'll move up to here. And hello, Thomas K. And please, interact as much as you like during the live stream. That's why I do it, and I do try to keep up on all the various messages so that we, as in both of us, can talk about things. Yeah, let's move up here. Disembark. I would prefer not to be caught too much. Okay, we're gonna come up to here, take a look around, come back. Because now that we, a little more clearly, we see the anti-aircraft gun there. A little bit of a problem, but not a super problem, I don't think. Can they make it? Not up. Well, we do have the base over here. I'm thinking there's an AA or artillery piece there, so I don't know how much I want to approach from that angle. Hey, Ari. Now going to go to Africa instead of right into the war against. Yeah. I've played just sort of the opening stages of Africa. This is the overall campaigns. Playing Ari. Unless you want to go heavy AA, sacrificing Stukas to get rid of their air. Yeah, I don't normally sacrifice my Stukas. I try to avoid that. When you approach through the woods, you're just leg infantry. Don't know where we should really start to break through this line just yet. We want to keep the panzers out of the forest. I've learned that lesson at least. If we go there, we're gonna... Oh, well, he's sort of an anti-tank gun configuration. But still, he could... pop up. I'm going to move him there just as an escort. Yeah, we need to clear this southern thing to get the units moving now. I hate... Oh, that's most... I hate having to do this. But now these units are not my core units, so yeah, we will plus them up with regular reinforcements. I guess you're staying at the airbase because I don't want to sacrifice you over the... Okay, so if we come up here, now that you've been suppressed a bit, they get really shot up some more. We might as well also attack with the infantry here while they're not entrenched. Okay, you're in Africa now, let's see. With a fair mix of units, do you think they manage to make all the categories important compared to PC1? I find myself using a lot of AT now, but heavy bombers seem less important. Okay, and I understand that, and I actually agree with him that heavy bombers should be less important. Okay, a little bit of a lecturing here. Most German bombers, and I'm anything you want to call a bomber, and that's something of an elastic term maybe, weren't heavy bombers. Germany and they had a few, and I forget, because they're all like JU something numbers. They did have a few heavy bombers mid-late-ish war. I've watched all the Wings of the Luftwaffe series. Great series. You might be able to find it on YouTube. Highly recommend it if you're into air. All of the Wings series are good. I know I've watched them all at least once. One of the, and somebody can post down below or in chat right now, one of the German bombers that was a 4-engine bomber, but 2 propellers in, 2 huge propellers and 2 engines in line with each other, keeping it. Most of the German quote unquote level bombers were medium bombers, or lighter. They did have light bombers. So you're playing as Germany, and we're playing what is primarily a tactical game. So, bombers really, what would for the U.S. Air Force be sort of medium bombers, which I would put like the Mitchell bomber, B-25, in, it's a twin-engine bomber, aren't very effective in dealing with the ground combat role. They aren't overwhelming, level bombers versus tactical bombers. And even some of those, and again, these terms are all sort of flexible in what you want to do. Germany's Air Force is primarily designed as a support Air Force for ground operations, where the U.S. Army Air Corps tries to design itself to be an independent operating arm, one to sweep the air clean of enemy aircraft wherever they may be, and two, to strategically bomb production centers and whatnot behind enemy lines. And so you get the idea with Germany's bombers. They did a lot of things like strikes on air bases. So they needed to drop a fair tonnage of bombs around a fixed known target, an air base, to make it unusable, and hopefully destroy things like aircraft that are on the ground, fuel support, maintenance sheds with the maintenance tools, really sort of. I think it's a Junkers aircraft, JU. I want to say 177, but I'm not sure is what I was thinking of, Arno. And so they're doing, and that is something of a strategic operation, but they were doing it at sort of the operational level for the, they didn't, to the best of my knowledge, again, I'm not an air warfare expert, to the best of my knowledge, Germany did not try to do a major campaign of striking at, say, French air bases during the, the Sitzkrieg, when the sort of the phony war is going on. There was some bombing back and forth, but it wasn't a major air operation. Now, once they start the invasion of France, then yes, they're hitting air bases wherever they can, and they're trying to shut down French and mainly Belgian air operations. They're trying to shut them down very rapidly. So, in a game like this, which is obviously very, very flexible as to what scale of units that we're using, and I know that's a complaint to people, and I totally understand the complaint. I'm just a little less critical of the complaint. We have down here Kursk, all the way down here up to Moscow is represented here, sort of as a supply center more than a victory hex. But and so, yeah, this is a bit flexible. Are we playing Army Group Center, or are we playing a divisional size operation, which these are, are these panzer divisions or are these panzer companies, kind of thing. But so what really should be devastating, in my opinion, in this game are things like the Stukas and other more tactical aircraft. That is quite possibly it. I don't know the aircraft number, but thanks, Arno. And so, yeah, and so I would say, and air operations definitely had throughout the war a heavy morale effect. No one likes to be bombed, especially by something you can't shoot back at. So, and I think that's appropriate because they sort of have a suppressing effect on this game. So, yeah, I think it's fairly well balanced. Now, maybe that's just meeting with my expectations or whatnot with the game, but I would say yes. But I wouldn't argue with anybody's particular. We should move this up. Disputes with what's going on. Oh, it should be a little stronger, a little weaker, or something particular unit, because there is definitely room for interpretation as to what the effects should be. Let's see. My grandpa sat in HAU 87. Told me that they didn't see much of the ground, and his pilot lost 7 airplanes to all causes. Most of his squadron didn't survive the war. The effects on the plane in general seems over. Yeah, they may be a bit overrated. Overall, definitely in the game, tactical bombers are very useful. Very interesting about that. Yeah, and we don't upgrade you. We might as well swing you around south here. You come up and around there. And I can understand how the radio operator... My sort of evaluation of the Stuka dive bomber. And some background. Dive bombing was and this is a very nice model, especially for this type of a game. They got the propeller spinning and all that. Very nice. Was a sort of pet project of Ernst Udet. He believed highly in dive bombing. Dive bombing seems like a good way to, within the relative operations of the time, to accurately put a whether you dive bomb or primarily dive bomb. I don't know. You can use your machine guns much on that. To accurately put a particular bomb on a target. And I think the Stuka, with its air brakes and whatnot, is a very good platform to do that with. The problem is, sort of with the nature of the aircraft, but also the nature of the design of the the purpose of the aircraft is that it flies fairly slowly. So if Germany is controlling the airspace, it is a very effective aircraft, I would say, up until the end of the war. Now, please do note, I said if Germany's controlling the airspace. So you're looking at a situation where Germany is no longer controlling the airspace, and so it's not that tactically effective, because they're getting shot down on the way to the target or on the way home or whatever. Now, when the Stuka was designed, and I'm talking about its original design, not production, most fighters were slow aircraft. They were maneuver aircraft. A lot of them were still, around the world, were still biplanes, though more and more were coming to monowings. And you had the Bf-110, which was Germans called a destroyer. I think we would more, at least in the modern American term, call it an interceptor, as in a bomber interceptor. And it was specifically, and bombers were designed, a lot of the level bombers, a lot of like the Do-17s, were designed to be, and is that what we have up here? What is this? Well, where is it? Yeah, what is this? Yeah, 217. So this is a onward development from it. We're designed to be fast bombers to outrun fighters. And this was also in the idea of the time before radar everywhere to get warnings up so you could put fighters in front of the path more, and that fighters had to chase them. And that's sort of what they were thinking with the Stuka. Fighters would need to chase them. So I'm going back to your grandfather's idea, or being in the back of a Stuka and needing to outrun a possibly equally sped up or maybe slightly faster fighter, but they sort of have a head start running away, so they're approaching from the rear, so you have the rear gunner. Well, probably it would be just better to remove that whole element of the aircraft, to lighten the aircraft up and give it a little more speed without having to have a more powerful engine on it, and especially once you drop your bomb to get home. We see some degree dive bombing, but more I don't know what you would call it, a strafing attack or whatnot, but with bombs, not plummeting towards the earth straight down, but simply coming in at at an angle toward it. So it probably ends up to be as effective or more effective than that. But there's one thing with problems with bombs, that the closer you get to the target, you need to use the bigger the bomb, because they have trouble hitting the target. So the bigger the bomb, the better. And the closer you get to the target and the bomb goes off, you can blow your own aircraft up. Play War Thunder a bit, and you can blow your own aircraft up quite easily. So that's why, part of the reason why they went to dive bombing is that they start out at a fairly high altitude, get down, and take that time as they plummet towards the earth. And part of it is you're going so fast that it's hard for the anti-aircraft guns to hit you. But you're coming in there, and you have this, seconds, milliseconds, whatever you want to call it, the time to accurately or reasonably accurately get on target before release, and then pull away. You don't see my hands moving with great. Yes, we have the burning T-34. Oh, they've done really good ideas with the graphics for this type of game. So to pull away and release at a high enough altitude accurately so that the bomb blast doesn't affect you. Well, what the U.S. does, and I know a bit more about it in the Pacific campaign, is they put things like parachutes on the backs of bombs so that they slow up the bomb a little bit from when they're released, slow up before they land, so the aircraft gets out of the blast zone. And so it's a very low level, often sort of treetop level, maybe level bombings in that sense, but they're right over the target. And one of the beauties of that whole thing is the idea that the anti-aircraft gunners, you're really close to them, so they're more accurate, but they only have a very few seconds to get on target, because they may hear you coming and sort of know your general direction, but get on target, be on target, and then you're gone before they can get on target and put too many rounds. And then if there's another one coming right behind, and another one coming right behind, and another one coming right behind, the gunners can't target them effectively. So there is sort of that kind of thing, and I want to read. We're flying what fronts? Africa, Italy, and Eastern Front, Ju-87s went out of fashion, but the war ended before he could return to the FW. Yeah. Or a very interesting story, Thomas. Yep. You told you might have shot down a plane once, like maybe. Yeah, I'm sure it's not a. If you're being honest, hey Tippett, an overly confirmable process that you're shooting back at things. See once, sort of, in a rubber boat. Oh, okay, so he got shot down and made it back. Very good that he made it back. Glad he survived. Yeah, well, the Mediterranean is fairly small and fairly easy to spot things. Very interesting story, Thomas. Okay, I think combination of that we've moved what we can or can and should move, and yes, use the reinforcement points that we can. So we're going to end the turn. Yes, you're shooting your artillery at me. You're coming up to bomb. Okay, yeah, like I say, maybe we can get the. Okay, you're very good. Okay. Now that we have the bomber down here, oh, we can get good. Suppress it some. Shoot it down some. Let's bring this one over here. See if we can shoot this one fully down. Rescued by an Italian fishing boat. Cool. And they stay up. Okay, well, they are definitely suppressed. Okay, we have some artillery there. Oh no, there is no anti-air over here. Well, very useful to know that. Okay. Looking to see which of our units can go after him. Let's just move the cavalry up. And I probably should have hit them with the bombers first. Yep, man, gamers making mistakes here. We used all, well, they got the fighters there. Yeah, no, we're not going to use those. We're not going to make more mistakes. We can help it. Probably can't help it, but we will. No, no corona, thankfully. Yeah, well, yeah, we are such an international city. It's I'm not gonna I don't think it's anything like New York. Now, I'm not in New York and I'm just hearing news reports, obviously, but I don't think it's anything like that in scale, but it is definitely a serious thing. And yes, I was expecting him back there. So it is a serious thing, and I am very much in avoidance of things, as in not going out. I will fully admit it. I may be overreacting. Ooh, okay. And you get your second attack because you get your overrun, so you're going to come up to there and anti-tank attack. No, thank you. We don't want to do that. Okay. They have artillery, or we can shoot at their artillery. That is good. Yeah, very. A lot of stuff 3 weeks ago, and now the shelves are still plenty. But yeah, shelves are, there's more than enough essential foods and supplies here in Southern California. I went to the grocery store a couple nights ago, and I specifically went at night after the rush there. And it is definitely lots of empty stuff on the shelves, most assuredly, but there's plenty of food. Canned goods were hit like crazy, that's for sure. Yeah, that would just be a death trap for any. And yep, you occupy the trenches. And the artillery can, well, infantry support guns, since they have the shorter range and they'll be backed up by that artillery unit, even though it is a little weak. So yeah, and so yeah, I'm just, like I say, I'm doing avoidance. Well, that looks like it was empty, and that would have been a good rush then. Yeah, that's good that they're limiting the number of people. Yeah, no, that's very good. The quote-unquote social distancing is the way. Just, you know, words of comfort is that I know that that just given some time, they're going to get vaccines for them. Now, that doesn't help people that already have it, but they will definitely do that. So we just have to, you know, it may take up to a year, and not that we're going to have to stay in the whole time by any means, but now we're going to move up to go after the artillery directly next turn is the plan there. And so, and other medicines are going to be found to be relatively effective in fighting it. Okay, we're going to shift you guys to the other airport. And you up to the other airport up here. That to give better coverage into there. And this is a core unit. Well, is there up here any? No, I've sort of moved most everybody that I could, would have, should have, and is doing okay. So we're gonna replace you up there. Yeah, I understand. Happy to have 2 rolls left. Well, good. Yeah, I think that's short-term and artificial, shall we say, problem about the toilet paper. Okay, very good. Oh no, oh, I didn't want to undo that. What did I undo? Reinforcements here. That's no, I want to do that. I hit the wrong thing. I wanted to hit to this. Okay, armored cars came out and attacked my tanks, and oh, they came up. Oh, good, good, good. You came out to party. Hurt my unit, but we shot you up pretty bad. Okay. Okay, good. Let's go after the fighters here. Probably should have hit him with the strong one first. Yeah, flank around. I was thinking about having to take the airport directly, but I don't think that that's necessary. The flame panzer. Yeah, there we go. We still have a lot of turns, so we're going to let them stew in their undersupplied city now. Yeah, I understand people because people have a, oh, what's it called? What is it, normalcy bias or whatever, or they don't understand the real threat because they haven't seen it, haven't seen the effects much, and so they just expect everything to be sort of as it was, and we need to really slow everything down. Next thing will be chocolate bars or vodka people want to hoard and follow the threat. Well, I hope they can. I don't drink, or I don't drink alcohol, I should say. So they can have all the vodka they want, but they gotta leave me my chocolate. That's essential, is leaving me my chocolate. Okay, that would be a good smash. Let's see, what do we have? That would be a good attack. Can we come up to here and strike there? No, we cannot. That would not be useful overly much. Yeah, millennials. I think we rightly give them a lot of abuse. I said rightly and give them a lot of abuse. Yeah, that's what I think. Well, that worked. Pushing them out of their trenches. We're going to follow the tanks back to open terrain. Well, we want to use the Stukas. I'm a little worried about having them there and having the anti-air shoot them, so let's come back here and bomb the display or the cut off. Yeah, you swing up that way. Yeah, you're gonna stay encircled. We're just gonna shoot this turn. Yeah, Tippet. Well, you know I'm not saying everyone, but yes, that's Lum. So, well, okay, now down here where we're actually pushing in rather well, I think taking out this AA gun, which is operating as a, at least an good anti-tank deterrent for me, because I'm deterred from attacking. We want to suppress that. Okay, that's good. Can you fly and attack somewhere useful? Not terribly. A little useful. Yes, actually did take him down. Okay, well, we're going to end this episode. Not the live stream. Everybody out there in YouTube and Twitch land, just hang loose. But those watching later, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that like button. See you next time for more strategic, well, for more historical gaming.